The hotel clerk said, "We usually keep that room locked, and I should have paid attention." The rain had continued for hours, and it was late, past midnight, on a forgotten road outside a small town in Pennsylvania. My car had broken down. After a mile of walking in soaked clothes, I finally located the only location with lights still on. A dilapidated 3-story inn with a skewed sign. The Nightshade Hotel, Esther 1913. The lobby smelled of old books and wet carpet. The clerk was an old man, slender as a rake, with yellowed nails and watery eyes. He had on a tweed vest that looked like it belonged in a dusty museum. After observing me for a while, he said, "Every room is full except..." "All right," I said, trembling. "I'll accept it." He paused. "That's room 313. And..." He spoke more softly. "No one uses that room, no longer." I took a look around. No one else was present. No options. Rain is falling. Tonight, I won't be driving anywhere. I was given a tarnished key with a crooked tag on it. Don't claim I didn't alert you. As I climbed, the stairs creaked under my weight. There was new carpet and better lighting on the second floor. Not on the third floor. Long strips of wallpaper peeled off. The smell was of cold air and old rot. Room 313 was at the far end of the corridor. Its door appeared older than the others. It was dented and scratched, and the number was hardly fastened. After resisting, the lock finally gave way with a loud clunk. The room felt off inside. There was something sour in the air, and it was heavy with dust. The ceiling was stained, and there was only one bed. By the window, which was speckled with rain, was an old wooden chair. On the other side of the bed was a desk with a big mirror. After flickering, the light bulb above steadied into a faint glow. Behind me, the door quietly clicked shut. I removed my drenched shoes and jacket. My backpack was thrown onto the bed. From 19th floor. From the two-boy lovin' to have a numbers and secret. Made an effort to limit my thoughts. Just one evening. Even so, there was a strange feeling. The quiet wasn't typical. Not calm. It was too silent. The room seemed to be holding its breath. With my arms folded and my eyes fixed on the cracked ceiling, I lay on the bed. It was difficult to fall asleep. 2:11 a.m. I was awakened by something. A noise. Not the rain. Start from scratch. Scratch, scratch. It wasn't noisy. It's almost delicate. Similar to a person pulling fingernails across a drape. Or flesh. I took a seat. The noise ceased. I looked around the room. Nothing changed. There was no one in the chair. They pulled the curtains. My boots. They were gone from the bed. They were beneath the chair. They weren't there because of me. I got a chill up my spine. I slowly got up, got the boots, and put them back by the door. I had trembling hands. I looked in the restroom. Empty. The closet is empty. However, there was something about the mirror that caused me to pause. It appeared normal, but it was deeper than it ought to have been. As if the reflection wasn't perfectly aligned. I observed myself, waiting for a bad thing to happen. I quickly turned away. The light was left on. Reposition yourself. 3:27 a.m. It's scratch, scratch, scratch. It was quicker this time. In a desperate situation. Close. There was a vibration in the mirror. Vibrated, in fact. The light then went out. Pitch black. I gasped. The only light I had left. So I reached for my phone and turned it on. The room was dimly illuminated by the light from its screen. Then I noticed it. There were words written on the mirror. In reverse, from the inside out. Remain motionless. I went cold. Remained motionless. Didn't flinch. There was a shape behind my reflection in the mirror. No human. Something tall, gaunt, long and rigid arms, sharp shoulders. From one side of the room to the other, it moved slowly. Not a sound. Its face is blank, not a feature, just tight, smooth skin. It went by behind me. It didn't turn in my reflection. I was afraid to move. Once more the scratching started. More volume. Nearer. From the bed. Below me? The mattress dipped a little. The surrounding air became cold and thick. I had something behind me. I sensed it. Then it started talking. A murmur. Wet and hoarse. You returned. I pivoted. Nothing. Nobody. The room alone. Once more. Silence. However, the mirror was now clean. Avoid writing. I picked up my phone and threw it against the window pane. It broke. Above, the light bulb flared and flickered back to life. I left the room, exactly as I found it. However, it wasn't. There was a change. Now it recognized me. I was seen by it. I slid down against the far wall, pushed the chair under the doorknob, and waited for the sun to rise. The door opened effortlessly at dawn. No opposition. Like it was never locked. I went like a corpse downstairs. Behind the desk, drinking lukewarm coffee, was the same clerk. When he saw me, his eyes widened. You remained in room 313. I gave a nod. I was having trouble speaking. Pale, he stood. There hasn't been anyone inside since... He came to a halt. The room ought to have been sealed. What took place? I inquired. His hands were rubbed together. A man rented it a long time ago. Occupied that chair. Killed himself. Cut his wrists. Used his blood to write something in the mirror. What he was going to say, I already knew. Remain motionless, I inquired. He stopped, then gave a nod. He was a drifter, they say. Arrived during a tempest. Similar to you. Although the coroner stated that he had been dead for hours before anyone heard a sound. He was never exactly right in the head. Additionally, the door was locked. From within. I didn't speak again. I didn't turn around as I ventured out into the gloomy morning. After 5 years, I received a letter last night. No address for return. There was a hotel room key inside, 313. And in red marker, written across the envelope, you made a move. I still have that key, in case you were wondering. I occasionally hear scratching on the walls when I'm by myself. I occasionally see someone behind me in mirrors. Additionally, occasionally, when I'm lying awake at night, I'm not sure if I ever left that room. The night after I got the letter, it began all over again. Around 2 in the morning, I heard a gentle tap on the bathroom mirror. The window, no, not the walls, the mirror. I live in a second-floor apartment with brick alleyways and empty air behind the mirror. with no shared wall, no pipes, no vents, only ice glass. I sat motionless in bed, gazing at the bathroom door's shadowy outline. The tapping then ceased. The floor creaked too. Outside my bedroom, there was something in the hallway. That was the last time I slept. Couldn't. All the shadows were too long. All the sounds are too slow. I told myself it was stress by morning. A nightmare. That goddamn room gave me PTSD. So I did something that no sane person would do. I returned. The Nightshade Hotel remained intact, still alive, but battered, similar to an unhealed wound. For nearly 20 minutes, I parked across the street and gazed at it through my windshield. The windows on the third floor appeared to be broken and dark, dead. I had no idea what to anticipate. A fire? A sign of closure? Is there salt near the door? No. The same deteriorating building, the same tilted sign, the same unwavering greeting. I entered. The past struck me like a train right away. The same scent, damp carpet, old document, death. There was no one at the front desk. However, I saw dust for the first time, in substantial layers. It had been years since anyone had visited. The room key was on the counter though. The same corroded brass, the same crooked tag, 313. I ascended the stairs cautiously, anticipating that the walls would shift, to take a breath, to let out a cry. They didn't. They did nothing but observe. The third floor was just as I had remembered. The wallpaper was peeling. The air was colder than it should have been, and the silence was thick like molasses. At the end, room 313 was waiting for me. I didn't knock. I opened it and went inside. It was worse. Although it had deteriorated, the furniture was still present. The mattress had mold growing up the corners. Long cracks that branched out like veins were visible in the mirror. Like ash, dust drifted through the air. The worst part, though? The chair. This time, it was facing the mirror. It was rocking too. Only a little. The impression that someone had just woken up. I ought to have gone. I was aware of that. Instead, though, I took a seat. In that wooden chair of curse. The mirror returned the gaze. I recognized myself. Not just me, though. Something tall, barely visible behind me. Still, like ropes, its arms dangled. Its head cocked too much to the side, as if its neck had broken mid-question. It remained motionless. However, I didn't either. I recalled the text. No. Remain motionless. I was not blinking. Didn't take a breath. It leaned close to me. Just above my ear, I heard its moist gasp of breath. Then, my shoulder was touched by a hand, but not in a physical sense. Chill, not moving, as if memories were brought to life. The mirror also changed, scratched in words. You ought not to have returned. The lights went out. Darkness. Complete and utter. I can't recall ever running. I can't recall ever leaving. The next thing that comes to mind is 2 towns away, I woke up in my car parked at a gas station. No phone, no cash. Only the key. I still have it in my pocket. I attempted to discard it. A secret. I let it fall into a river. After 6 hours of driving, it was thrown over a cliff. It always returns. I burned it once. The following day it appeared, cool to the touch, in my kitchen door. I don't get much sleep anymore. The mirrors are being tapped more frequently. It's always 2:11 a.m. I occasionally notice it when I walk by a window or look at the reflection on my phone. Uncertain, simply talking, simply observing. And I received another letter last night. No key this time, only a Polaroid. My apartment was displayed, the front door, my door, and outside of it was me. However, the eyes had vanished, and just barely visible in the window glass behind the picture of me was 301 room. If you continue to believe that this is merely a story, consider this question. What time is it at this moment? Have you noticed any quiet in your mirrors lately?